Valens Research, Uniform Financial Analytics.
And so Western Digital, for those of you who don't know Western Digital, right? Western Digital is a hard drive maker, right? Their legacy business is they make physical hard drives, the old magnetic ones, right? That we all used to have in all of our computers. They also bought SanDisk a few years ago, which is one of the biggest, which is and was a big maker of what are called solid state hard drives, right? Flash-based hard drives that that are faster, et cetera, which is where a lot of the market is moving. So when I look at Western Digital, a couple things jump out that are really important. One is when we look at Western Digital, we can see return on assets that had been robust in 2019 tanked. Right, a big reason why, because of the fact the company had competitive pressures in its legacy business, and the market is forecasting those returns to stay flat. The one interesting thing about Western Digital is you might look at this and you might say, yeah, but they were going through a product cycle, and if SanDisk, the other business that they have, can actually catch, right, in terms of solid state, a growth factor, and people understand why they still need to have magnetic hard drives too, you could see a recovery, right? Because they've been having those headwinds that you're talking about in terms of the move from hard drives to solid state hard drives for 10 years, and their profitability stayed high. I think that the returns can rebound. And I think that the company's only trading at a 16 times PE. That's pretty cheap. That says the market's not pricing anything. Well, what we would tell you is if you think this company is cheap, you're missing the actual picture because as reported metrics are understating this company's valuation. This company isn't trading at 16 times, it's trading at 23 times, right? And a 23 times multiple, that says I need to have some recovery, right? I need to have returns jump from 5% up a bit with some growth for me to be able to justify this valuation. If you're looking at the as reported metrics, you will literally have a misunderstanding of which companies are cheap and which companies are expensive, just on a metric as simple as PE. If we do a Venn diagram of PEs using our uniform accounting PE and an as reported PE, and we just say, give me the top 20% cheapest companies on both metrics, only 40% of those companies will overlap, right? Meaning, if you're doing a screen on as reported PE and saying, I just want to look at the cheapest companies, 6 out of every 10 companies you look at is not as cheap as you think it is on as reported metrics, because the as reported metrics are misrepresenting reality for the company. And Western Digital, it's one of those companies. It's not as cheap as you think it is. You shouldn't be thinking about this as a turnaround business that can actually drive growth and transform its business. You're looking at a company that is actually, that is actually already priced for that.
Valens Research, the world's leading source for uniform financial analytics.